Is the sushi you are eating in Dubai actually what the menu says it is? What if I told you that globally, 1 in 3 pieces of seafood sold in restaurants is mislabeled, and that sushi venues are the single worst offenders with mislabeling rates as high as 74%? I spent weeks investigating ingredient sourcing, international food fraud studies, consumer complaints, and Dubai food safety regulations. What I found is disturbing. Restaurants across this city are serving fish that has been banned in Japan, passing off processed pollock paste as crab meat, and charging premium prices for seafood that has been frozen, thawed, and dressed up with sauces to hide the decline in quality. Dubai imports virtually all of its seafood. That means long supply chains, and long supply chains mean more opportunities for fraud. Let me take you through the worst offenders. Number 1, all-you-can-eat sushi buffets. Sushi Nations runs multiple locations across Dubai, from Latifa Tower on Sheikh Zayed Road to Motor City to the Millennium Hotel in Al Barsha. They advertise the best all-you-can-eat sushi in the UAE. The price? As low as 69 dirhams for unlimited sushi. Now think about that. A whole salmon costs over 150 dirhams wholesale in Dubai. So, how is a restaurant giving you unlimited sushi for less than half the cost of one fish? The fish is not what you think. Consumer reviews on TripAdvisor are brutal. One reviewer wrote that the tuna and salmon are not fresh, with color that is almost white. Another opened their rolls and found no actual fish inside, just cheap surimi on top, with what they called garbage underneath. At the Motor City location, a reviewer called it the worst Japanese restaurant in Dubai, noting the sushi looked old and badly cut. Another documented ordering delivery and having sushi arrive after 60 minutes in the Dubai heat. When unlimited sushi costs less than a single plate at a quality restaurant, you are not getting a deal. You are getting exactly what you paid for. Number 2, conveyor belt sushi chains. YO Sushi was founded in London in 1997 and operates multiple Dubai locations, including Dubai Mall, Mall of the Emirates, Dubai Marina, and Ibn Battuta Mall. The concept sounds fun. Sushi travels past you on a belt and you grab what looks good. Here is the problem. That sushi is sitting on an open belt at room temperature. Raw fish needs to be stored below 5 degrees Celsius. A conveyor belt in a busy mall is not a refrigerated environment. The ratings tell the story. Their downtown Dubai branch ranks 7,509 out of 8,425 restaurants in the city on TripAdvisor. One reviewer called the sushi super stale. Another described the food as bland and old and rotating. At Dubai Marina, a reviewer called it inedible and questioned whether it was even safe. At Mirdif City Center, customers raised serious hygiene concerns. Multiple reviewers report limited belt options while fresh orders take up to 30 minutes. You are paying 129 dirhams for raw fish, circling an open belt, losing freshness with every rotation. That is not Japanese cuisine. That is a food safety gamble dressed up as a dining concept. Number 3, any restaurant selling white tuna. This is not about one restaurant. This is about a lie on sushi menus across Dubai. White tuna is not a real species. There is no such thing. According to a landmark study by ocean conservation group Oceana, 84% of fish sold as white tuna in sushi venues was actually escolar. Escolar is a deep-sea snake mackerel banned in Japan since 1977. Its flesh contains up to 25% indigestible wax esters. Eat too much and your body responds with chyriorrhea, the uncontrolled passage of oily orange discharge, alongside nausea, cramping, and diarrhea, hitting anywhere from 30 minutes to 36 hours after your meal. The FDA has recommended escolar should not be marketed in interstate commerce. Italy banned it entirely. Yet white tuna still appears on menus across Dubai. UAE federal law. Number 10 of 2015 on food safety says misleading consumers with false food descriptions carries fines up to 100,000 dirhams. In 2021, CNN reported on seafood fraud in Dubai, quoting a chef who acknowledged fake naming is widespread on menus throughout the city. If you see white tuna or butterfish on any sushi menu, you are likely about to eat a fish that Japan banned nearly 50 years ago. Number 4, any restaurant listing crab or kani without telling you what it actually is. Order a California roll, a kani salad, or crab rangoon at almost any sushi restaurant in Dubai, and you will not receive crab. What you get is surimi. Surimi is a processed paste made from Alaska pollock, a cheap white fish that is minced, washed until all flavor and color are stripped out, then mixed with starch, egg whites, sugar, salt, and artificial crab flavoring. The final step is adding orange food coloring to make it look like crab. It was invented in Japan in 1974 and is now a billion-dollar global industry. The United Kingdom requires surimi to be labeled seafood sticks rather than crab sticks because it contains zero crab. Dubai has no such requirement. Restaurants across the city list crab and kani on their menus with no disclosure that the ingredient is processed pollock paste dyed orange. Here is where it becomes a safety issue. Surimi contains fish and wheat, not shellfish. If you have a wheat allergy and order something listed as crab, you have no reason to suspect it contains wheat starch. The labeling is misleading in every direction. Next time you see kani on a menu, ask one question. Is this real crab or surimi? The answer will tell you everything about that restaurant. Number 5, supermarket sushi counters. Carrefour, Spinneys, Lulu, Choithrams. Every major supermarket in Dubai now has a sushi section, pre-made rolls in plastic, sitting in refrigerated display cases, ready to grab and go. Sounds fine until you think about how it got there. Supermarket sushi is batch produced. A team makes hundreds of pieces in the morning and loads them into the display. Those rolls sit for hours waiting to be picked up. Every time a customer opens the case to browse, the temperature fluctuates. Every time the case is restocked, the cold chain breaks. Now, consider what happens after purchase. You carry it through a parking structure where summer temperatures exceed 45 degrees Celsius. You put it in your car, you drive home. By the time you eat it, that raw fish has been through a temperature journey no sushi chef would approve of. Check the ingredients and you will find the same surimi, the same vegetable oils, and the same preservatives you would find at the cheapest buffet in town. The packaging is better, the product is the same. Number 6, the fresh fish myth. This is the biggest deception in Dubai's sushi industry, and it applies at every price point. Dubai imports virtually all of its seafood. The UAE brings in roughly 9 million metric tons of food annually, and nearly every fish on every sushi menu arrive frozen on a cargo ship or plane. That 500 dirham omakase platter, frozen. The FDA requires most fish destined for raw consumption to be frozen first to kill parasites. Freezing is not a shortcut, it is a safety requirement. Yet restaurants across Dubai market their sushi as fresh, as if the fish arrived that morning. Oceana found that 74% of sushi venues sold mislabeled fish. 95% sold at least one mislabeled item. Snapper was mislabeled 87% of the time. Tuna, 59%. A 2023 study from Seattle Pacific University found that 23% of salmon sold in sushi restaurants was mislabeled, with every fraudulent sample being a cheaper species. This is not a local problem. It is an industry-wide practice. In a city that imports everything it eats, the supply chain is even longer, and the opportunities for fraud multiply at every step. So, what should you actually look for? First, rockfish. This beachfront Italian restaurant in Dubai partnered with Seafood Souk to give diners QR codes with every fish order. Scan the code and you see exactly when and where your fish was caught, how it was transported, and its sustainability certifications. That is transparency. That is what every restaurant should be doing. Second, look for omakase restaurants with visible preparation. Establishments where a trained idamai prepares your sushi in front of you, sources fish directly, and can tell you exactly what species you are eating and where it came from. Restaurants rated by Gault and Millau, UAE, or recognized by the Michelin Guide, have been independently and anonymously evaluated for quality. Third, here is your checklist. Ask what species the fish actually is. If the server cannot answer, leave. Avoid any menu listing white tuna. It is likely escolar. Ask if the crab is real crab or surimi. Check if the restaurant can tell you where their fish was sourced. Choose density over price. If the sushi feels like it is mostly rice with a thin sliver of fish, the economics are working against you. Your money deserves better. Here is the bottom line. The sushi industry in Dubai has a transparency problem. Fish that has been frozen for weeks is sold as fresh. Processed pollock paste is called crab. A fish banned in Japan is served as white tuna. And global studies show that sushi venues are the single worst category for seafood mislabeling, with nearly 3 out of 4 selling you something other than what you ordered. The UAE has food safety laws on the books. Fines for misleading food descriptions go up to 100,000 dirhams. But enforcement cannot keep pace with a city that has over 26,000 food establishments. That is why you need to know what to look for. If this video helped you, subscribe to this channel so you do not miss our next investigation. Drop a comment and tell me what sushi restaurant you have had a bad experience with. Share this with anyone you know who eats sushi in Dubai. Together, we are going to hold these restaurants accountable. I will see you in the next one.